All right, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Um, it's early in the morning. Let me see here. It's about. Let's see. What time is it? I think about six something in the morning. It's 6:07 in the morning right now, and I literally got up about maybe 5:50 in the morning, 5:50 a.m. So my hair, I didn't brush my hair. I didn't wash my face or nothing. Not instantly, but after I woke up, I sat there and thought about what just happened first. I had to recollect everything first before I came downstairs to record this video, and hopefully this video turns out pretty good. Um, Turns out pretty good because I just grabbed it and got into the best lighting I could really quick so that I can get this out. So I can tell you guys what just happened to me. And I've been trying to figure out why it happened to me, and only thing that I could come up with is every time I don't eat and I allow the processed food that I used to eat, that I eat every now and then because it's still good, like the Doritos and the candy. I love the candy. That's it. But whenever I stop eating that, that's when new things that I have never experienced before start to happen. Especially with my psychic abilities. So I already know that I already experienced psychic abilities, and that those are real. I already went through it. So whenever I see movies and stuff like that, I love to get involved with it because I already been through it. So there's no need for me to say, oh, I don't know if it's real or whatever, but I experienced it. But this one, what I have to tell you guys, guys about, I've never done it before. This time, for the people who haven't experienced being conscious inside their dream state, who never experienced it, I'm telling you, it is amazing. This is the first time that I can remember, at least, where I was conscious inside my dream. And being inside your dream, all it is just another reality. It's an alternate reality. And I can tell you what happened. And another thing that's weird, just like in the movie Inception, where Leonardo said, we never know how we get to a point in a dream. We don't know how it started. We only know how it ends. And when I heard that the first time and the second time, it really hit me. I was like, yeah, that really is true. Because what happened in my dream was I was on a street called Westcott. It wasn't too far from where I used to live when I was when I was a kid. And the Westcott Street, it usually is a busy street from like 9 a.m. to sometimes around 10, 11, maybe 12. It's really busy. And in the dream, somebody's walking by it. Oh, okay. And in the dream, I was walking as I usually am from the same street, and then I made a right onto Westcott, and I would cross the street. As soon as I made that right, as I'm walking on the sidewalk, the whole street. At first, it was at night. It was at night, and all the street lights was on, but the whole street was closed. Everything was closed. All of the stores, all of the restaurants, and there was no lights anywhere else. But there were still people walking, and I'm sitting there stuttering. There's still people walking. So when I crossed the street and I was going to the library, and I looked up, even the library was closed. Which, actually, now that I think about it, it was late at night. So why would I go to the library? So maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't. It was about 8 or 9 o'clock, I would say. And most libraries are not open that late. The latest on some days is 7 o'clock here in Syracuse, New York. So the thing is, whatever store it was or building it was, I was looking up, and I said, usually they're open, and the whole block, usually the stores are open. So intuitively, with me being an intuitive, I instantly knew that I was in another dimension, and I was like, huh, I'm in another dimension. I am in another dimension, because I know for a fact, for you guys out there who don't know what's going on, everybody who don't know what's going on, when you know that something was in a certain area, whether it could be a complete building, or a complete building, or even to the small stuff, when something you know was there before but no longer was there, there is a very, very good chance that you switch to another dimension where it wasn't there. So there's a dimension where it's there, and then there's a dimension where it's not it's not there. And inside that dream state, I knew that I was in another dimension. And for the people who were around me, I looked around and I said, "You guys, we are in another dimension right now. This is amazing." And I didn't know how I switched to it. I didn't know how I switched to it at all. But in that dream, I knew that I was in another dimension, and I was just telling them, we are in another dimension. So that was that, as far as that area, that situation. And then somehow I got into a room where there's like a presentation. I was in a room, and there was a long table, and then there was feeding us lunch. They was feeding us lunch, and before they was feeding us lunch, I was waving my hands, and I was consciously waving my hands. And listen, I was saying to myself, I was saying out loud, actually, to everybody. I was like, "I'm in an alternate reality. I'm in an alternate reality," and I was literally doing that, like in first person view. It wasn't in third person view anywhere like some of my dreams are. I think some of my past regression dreams where I see my previous lives, because when I see my previous lives, just like in Dolores Cannon's book, sometimes some of her clients, they see themselves in third person view, like outside of themselves. And that's what I did in one of my previous visions of my lives, of my previous lives. Because my previous life, it was either my last one or maybe one of my lives, I was a Caucasian female, blonde. I'll get to that another time. So inside that room, and it was like a blue walled room, and then I was waving my hands. I was like, "I'm in an alternate reality. I'm in an alternate reality." It was weird. It was crazy, and I knew that it was a different reality. And then they was feeding us some stuff, and I remember bread, some kind of, what do you call that dark? I think it's called rye bread. That dark brown bread, really, really dark chestnut brown bread. That's that's what it was. It had that, and I don't know. Maybe it was some kind of sandwich, but I don't remember too much of the food. But I know that they was feeding us, and I don't even know what was going on either, because I was at the table here at the side of it, and it was a pretty long table. I was towards the end, and there were some ladies over here on the other side passing the food around. Then there were some people uh, down on the other side of the table, like next to me, then next to me down there. But I don't even know what was going on. But all I know that I was conscious inside that dream. And I've never been conscious. So I was waving my hands in that one. Then there was another area where I was walking down some street, and I saw a street sign. I saw a street sign, and I was consciously walking toward it, and then I grabbed it, and then I swung on it. I don't know why I did that, but I just did it, and I just I grabbed it, and I just swung like that. It was crazy, and I just swung like that, and I was like, wow. And then I kept walking, and then I switched to another scene. These are like scenes to me. When I go to different areas of a dream, they happen so fast. They just feel like scenes from a movie. It's like just go to something else. It just appears. It's weird. I haven't figured that out yet either. But what was it? The other one was when I was in a car with my sister and with my nieces and nephew. And get this though, I was in the passenger seat. My oldest niece, she was in the driver's seat. My youngest sister was in the middle, and then In the driver's seat was my oldest niece and also um, my oldest my oldest nephew. My oldest nephew was in the driver's seat. Both of them. My oldest niece and my oldest nephew were in the driver's seat. I got into the car, and then my youngest sister, who has her license and who's about 23, 24, and then I think it was one of my younger nieces also. So it was all of us. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was 5 people in the front seat of a car. The front seats of a car, passenger seat and in the driver's seat. And then it didn't click to me till I realized that he was getting ready to crash. He had the pedals, and then my oldest niece Santera, she was driving. Either she was driving or she was somewhere in that area. So I'm saying to myself, why is Tierra allowing these young people drive? I'm like, he about to crash. He's about to crash. He's about to crash. We was on the highway too. We was on the highway, and then all of the cars. Let's see, on the left lane, we was on another road of the highway, and then there was a border, whatever you call that little pillar, that cement pillar. We was on another side, but on over here the cars were going by, but on the side that we was on, there was like maybe two lanes. There was cars that were stranded. They were stranded. So he went from, well, I should say because Santera she was at the driver's, had the wheel, but Quintrell, he had the gas and the brakes. So somehow we got onto the right side, and I'm like, what are they doing? And I'm like, get that boy off of those pedals. And then and he was laughing too. He thought it was funny. He thought it was funny when we was getting ready to crash. So I actually, because Tierra was just sitting there, my oldest sister, my youngest sister, she was just sitting there. I don't know what she was doing inside the dream, but she was just sitting there. So I just grabbed him by his neck, and then I asked all of my angels, I was like, you guys help me out here, because I was nervous too. I didn't want to crash. So I grabbed him by his neck, and I was just trying to pull him away, and I guess I was kind of pinching him. Yeah, pinching him, and then as I was pinching him inside the dream, he was pinching me on my thigh. It was so funny because I was just trying to get him out from the driver's seat, and then Santera, I forgot what she was doing, but I was just focused on getting Quintrell out of the driver's seat and then off of the pedals. Excuse me, my nose is getting kind of clogged up. But then I was just pulling them, and then after that, I think that's when I actually woke up. Yeah, that's when I actually woke up. Because of the pinching too. I was thinking somehow his pinching, when I was pinching him inside the dream by his neck, his pinching me inside the dream on my thigh, when I woke up, I think, if I can remember correctly, my hand was actually on my thigh. So it was maybe I was thinking maybe I was the one pinching myself in this reality. I don't know. It was weird. But anyways, I woke up, and then I sat there saying to myself like, wow, that was weird. That was weird. I was like, man, that was crazy. So then, for the past few, I'll say maybe weeks, and also actually now even more, made me realize again that this reality that you guys are seeing me right now is literally only illusion, an illusion. I used to hear that over and over again on YouTube a lot, but then after me having this dream and being conscious in it, and then sitting there realizing a lot of stuff and spending time with myself, and then intuitively knowing stuff, I realized that this reality is only one reality that we are in right now. And as Bashar says, all lives are going on simultaneously. And he's right. And everything's going on right now. And time, it doesn't exist. And with me having that dream, I realized that we can go to other reality, other realities. And I guess you can say that I am starting to wake up. So like literally in this reality, at least in this reality, because now that I understand that there's different realities and that this is not the only one, I take this reality here a lot less seriously. Because when I was taught that this is the only reality and didn't experience anything else, I used to take this too seriously, like hard, and used to get mad when people would say things to me that I didn't like. But now it's like somebody would say something that I normally would react to, but now that I got that intuition developed, I like know what they've been through, what's going on with them. And I just had a situation last night that I'll probably do another video about, when I was in a fast food restaurant. I just knew that she wasn't yelling at me, but I would just happen to be there at that time. And I knew what was going on. So I was like, huh, no need to react. So stuff just bounces off of me now a lot more. And then my fear drops completely, because now, what, not completely yet, I'm still working on some things, but it dropped tremendously because I know what's really going on now. And I know that so-called death is just a transition. And when I transition, I'm just going to go to another reality. That's it. So now I'm so much more free now. I'm so much more free now. And I'm just amazed at that dream that I was actually conscious in it, because I don't remember ever being conscious in it. So that's just, I'm all pumped up now. So now I gotta relax. But I just thought that I shared that dream that with you guys, for the people who haven't experienced anything like that, and also for the people who have experienced something like that. You can go ahead and comment. And I just thought that I shared with you guys. So to sum it up, there are other realities that we could switch to. This physical reality where you can see and touch things right here in the third dimension, or whatever dimension you want to consider yourself in right now. And I believe that we are transitioning to the fourth dimension, because I see a lot of things and sense a lot of things differently, and I see possibilities too. That's another thing. Watching a video, I think his name Brad Johnson, watching his video, he said when you're in the fourth dimension, it has to do with being able to see and work with possibilities. When he said that, I'm like, wow, that is crazy, because as of late, for the past few weeks, I'm able to see possibilities, like 4 or 5 possibilities all at once. All at once. And it's crazy to see and sense them, especially when I'm walking in the mall. And I have a video that talks about my intuition too. I call it advanced intuition, the video that I'm talking about, to help people out again with intuition. Where I'm in the mall, and me, I'm a fast walker, extremely fast walker. And when I'm walking, especially in the mall, I like to keep it smooth. I don't like to stop. So just like that movie Premium Rush, where the guy's on the bike and he's able to see all the possibilities, that's exactly how I am. So when I'm walking, and because I'm walking so fast and I don't like to stop, I can see all of the possibilities of where I can go. I can go right, and if I go, I mean left. If I go left, I have to stop really quick and then move to the side. All of these possibilities, it's just crazy. But I have another video that I'll upload. I haven't uploaded it yet, but it's already done. So to sum it up, there's other realities that we could tap into. There's other dimensions that we certainly can tap into. I know that I can do it, and we tap into dimensions every single moment of our lives. We just don't realize it. In that dream, I realized it, and I was conscious of it. And when I woke up, I switched to this reality right here that most people consider as the reality, which is really not the only reality. It's just one that you're in. consciously that you're in and that you're aware of, because the human mind is not wired to tap into all of the realities all at once, because it'd be too crazy for the human mind. So that's why it was wired, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly, it was wired to focus only on one reality, this one right here. So it is possible. And then when you so-called die, which I call it the transition, when you transition over or pass over, you just going into another reality. But most people, they don't understand that. Usually the sleep ones don't understand that. And people who say it, a lot of people on YouTube, they say it, but they don't really know what's going on. And me, because of that intuition, I haven't, far as I remember, I'll say far as I remember, I don't remember actually going through the death experience, the near-death experience. However, somehow I know that it literally is a transition. That's it. Especially with what just happened to me, being in another reality. It's just my consciousness. Just like right now, my consciousness is in this body. Is in this body. And then once I'm done with this body, my consciousness is just going to go somewhere else. Just like when you're, I look at